Hi, Assalamualaikum. Very good afternoon. Here we meet again at the second episode of our premiere season, Miss Nirmala. Money Talk with our hashtag Stay Calm, Don't Rush, Make a Plan, Feel the Hush. Okay, today I am honored to have my guest host here, the most gorgeous Miss Nirmala Supramaniam. She is the head of household financial education from AKPK, stand for Agency Counseling and Pengurusan Kredit. To those who are actually my overseas network, international network, AKPK stand for Debt Management and Counseling Agency, which is under the supervision of Bank Negara Malaysia or Central Bank of Malaysia. Am I right?
Yeah, it's a credit counseling and debt management.
Credit counseling and debt management. Yeah.
Mm.
So today, okay, today is a very timely topic that I have Miss Nimala with me, because today we are going to talk about, are you avoiding your finance in daily life? So what we're going to do today is basically, as we know, many people actually in daily life are actually avoiding to check sometimes their bank account, their emails, because they don't want to check their incoming bill, and sometimes they are try to avoid to creating a budget. There's a lot of reason. A part of it, perhaps, it's I would say that it's a fear, shame, or overwhelm that we will discuss later on. And this episode, actually, we will break down financial avoidance, or some people call it money avoidance, and some people call it as money script, I was told, and how to gently move past it, with my small conversations, or was it coffee break conversation with Nirmala here. So before that, don't forget to subscribe our Spotify, YouTube, our LinkedIn, Facebook, and IG, and do actually forward it to your network, your loved one, because I think this is the most important topic. So Miss Nirmala, before I give it to you and your good brain idea that I ever met, okay, Miss Nirmala, let's have actually come back to the topic today. Yeah, have what before that I want to ask you: have you ever delayed any payment? All right, and sometimes you ignore notification or silence your notification. Do not disturb. Something terms that I just learned recently. Trust me, you are not alone. I'm also at this age. Actually, I also sometimes do that, to be honest. Okay. So, yeah, sometimes we make avoidance as our coping mechanism. Yeah, not just money, but everything in this life. All right. So, just to share with you all, just a Malaysia overview into 2023. 54% of young adults in Malaysia avoid checking their balance when stressed. Yeah, and financial shame was being linked as the highest rate of mental health issue nowadays. Sorry. Avoidance lead to missed bill, overdraft fees, and delayed financial growth. So, Miss Nimala, first thing first, before we go deep, what is the factors, what we can do, just in your layman terms, and we want to share with our I would say, don't understand the terms of financial avoidance, money avoidance. What do you think is the definition of financial avoidance in your perspective? And a lot of people that Miss Nimala have met actually. So, what actually financial avoidance is it? Is it red flag?
Thanks. First and foremost, thank you, Dr. Lalua, for having me here. It's a great honor. And coming back to financial avoidance, I think basically it's more of a denial, I would say, right? Being in denial that a lot of times we know something is not good for us, right? But it's more of the fact that I can manage it, all the false confirmation that we give ourselves, and being in denial over it,
Yeah.
like it's okay, yeah, just one time. We have the fact of it's okay, it's going to be just one time, or it's okay, money is coming in tomorrow, or yeah, for this time, yeah, it's going to be like that, but things are getting better, so
In denial.
we put the fact of being in denial, I think, is the biggest reason why we avoid financial avoidance, or we say that uh, our fears are like, it's between like, I think I can do this, but not acknowledging the real fact and figures to that. So it doesn't, like what you mentioned earlier, it just doesn't happen with finances. I think every part of our life, that things that we think we know we have to change, and we know we have to make this change, we the first step to do that is the most scariest part.
Okay.
And that's where we give ourselves,
Acknowledge.
we give ourselves excuses and
Mm.
reasons of taking that first step.
Mm.
So I think financial avoidance comes in, basically, if I were to say it, is more of denial, denying the actual fact, and not acknowledging the fear that's there.
Correct. I'm taking one of your point that you say we need to acknowledge ourselves. What is our situations? So this is also the reason that I think it's most important. That is why I think the earliest chapter that I have in my upcoming book is talking about money mindset. Okay, first thing first, we need to identify who we are. So then we can further on, and under the one of the money personality that I have, you call it avoider. That's why you said that we are more like ignorance, and we hope that when we wake up tomorrow morning, things will overchange. All right. So another question, not in the script. Do you think this is a disease, or this is a normality, or what, Miss Nimalang?
I think fear or being in denial is something we use as a coping mechanism, like you mentioned,
yeah.
right? So I wouldn't say it's a disease, but it's more of a habit that we have normalized.
Mm.
Being Asian,
Mm.
or being from how we were brought up,
Mm.
it's also a fact of not being too vocal, not confronting things on your own. It's better to be quiet. Don't have to acknowledge even a weak point of your. We were, I think, brought up in an environment that you should not show your weakness out.
Yeah. That's why we go after this, the cost kind of thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's also that kind of environment where we were not encouraged to actually show our weakness out.
Mm.
I think this was the early days of how we were brought up. But I guess things are changing now, where we acknowledge mental health has the problem also. Kalau those days, if you were to say mental health, there'll be a lot of stigma to it.
Yes,
right?
correct.
So I guess
Correct.
these were all the reasons why we
it's
tend to
correct.
keep quiet about things.
Correct.
We think we must show that we are able to manage it.
Correct. Mm.
And admitting that we are at fault or we did something wrong was definitely not you were supposed to do everything right.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all reasons why we are avoiding it.
Yeah.
Okay, we are coping it by avoiding it.
But it won't save a problem.
How many of us would actually openly go and say, hey, I got a problem with my finances, right? Among your friends, among your
Even
family
with
members.
friends, they still hide it.
Because I want to be accepted.
Correct.
Yeah. So if you show that you have a problem, you're being weak, you're deemed weak, we worry about the acceptance rate as well, whether we'll be accepted, whether we'll be judged. I think judgment is another major thing. We're so worried of how people would judge us, how people will look at us. Yeah. So I guess there's a lot of factors to our upbringing, our culture,
from our
because that's why we say a person's behavior is not just from inside; it's also what's external, what's the environment plays part, right? And 70% of a person's financial habits actually start from home. Okay. So what you witness when you are yes. So these are what actually shaped and has influenced most of our behavior. But then again, we have actions to take. Once as what you mentioned, we will not be able to move to the next step until and when we acknowledge this is a problem. Correct.
So how we cope with that mechanism, we will dive with you in this after this. But before that, I want to check. You did mention about our surrounding, our upbringing. Do you think that also inside of my upcoming book, I did touch about culture versus generational? Okay, we go for culture first. Do you think culture also play a part of this financial avoidance?
Definitely, because as I mentioned, we were brought up in Asian culture.
Kita tak nak jiran knows that,
Yeah,
yes, you know,
and
or
showing
families.
your
Yeah.
status is by having a good car.
Correct.
Right, and if you were to get married, certain expectation, and life has been structured in certain expectation that at this phase you should do this, at this phase you should do this. So it's all culturally structured of such, right? Because everyone, if you ask your elderly, why should I do this? Because everyone is doing it, so just do it.
Correct,
you know?
correct.
So we have that pressure. We
And then
call
your
that pressure.
parents, I remember, like your parents always say, like, oh, you must show better than your, you know, your cousins,
Yeah.
your neighbors, or we must be, you know, seen we are okay.
Yes.
That is the culture. So I think that is more to East culture, right?
Yeah.
These Asian people, we have that this attitude of we want to show that we are okay. But I think West culture are more open to acknowledge their problem.
I guess they're more advanced in that factor, but that
Okay.
doesn't leave them out of financial problems too,
No.
because they do have other issues where independence is much
Correct,
earlier,
correct.
right? And hence why probably we see that the family values kind of
Lesser, right?
lesser,
Yeah,
and
correct.
and you
I want to
have
touch
other
about that.
issues
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But we
They are
can
more like
speak-
self-centric.
Yes.
I need to, you know, money for me first rather
Yeah.
than the family.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have a
We
so
have-
everybody has their problem, but if we were to speak about Asians, our problem mainly I would say is coming from surrounding
people around here.
We
Yes,
we
yes.
live for
We
people's
care. We care about
Yeah.
people's around here more. All
Yeah.
right.
and
Yes,
we
cool.
live for people's expectations. And many
correct.
times we live it up. We think we have to do all this because if not, apa orang, what will people see? What will people
Correct.
judge? Right?
Correct.
So I guess we have that pressure more.
Yeah, that's culture pressure more. Okay. Before we move to the second point, what about generations? About baby boomers versus alpha?
Obviously, that's
It's
a
different?
lot different. Alpha is totally a
More
different
open.
game.
Is it more open, or they speak their own mind? I say, oh, Papa, I don't have money.
Oh yeah,
When we are young, we heard that. We worry that.
They're definitely more vocal because the exposure that they receive are way far much. But it's more challenging for them because spending and choices to spend and choices to borrow are way much more easier for them.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is online, fingertips, and comparatively
Defense. I think defense is very low. I mean, is the challenges here.
So you see,
Defensive.
even they have segregated like the baby boomers were actually the beginners, the survivors, and Gen X after that was more of going towards comfort, struggling to get comfort.
Yes.
And the Gen after that more
towards
purpose.
Yes, purpose.
They are going towards more I wouldn't
this
say
transitional,
material,
right?
but it's more of
transitional.
Life's purpose. What is how would I say? It's not too much of material satisfaction, but it's more of an emotional satisfaction. It's more of a experience satisfaction. Because they did not survive. They got it easy.
Yep.
Okay? The X were the survivors.
Yes.
The baby boomers were the survivors
That
after
one,
the recession and everything. So they were just working to survive.
Yep.
Then they gave a better future to the X. X has
more
learned to
working
hard to give a comfortable life. So after that, what more? What more?
Then
so
go
it's more about,
millennial.
So you see that the trend of people actually acquiring assets are lower.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be stagnant. They don't want to be trapped in one place. They want to be able. The world is the border, I would say. So it's different. So the reason why we spend, what is important to us, our focus is very different.
Totally different. So that is culture and generation aspect on how we perceive money avoidance and also money script. So moving on, what are the factors? Like we have, we did touch roughly there about we want to perceive to be we are okay. But actually we do have this financial shame. That's a term that been used by academia. In their analysis and their research is about financial shames. And also there's also like like you say, acceptance by people. Okay, and then a lots of okay, recent now, I think Gen Z and or Gen Y, Gen after me, I would say, is more concerned about all this jargon. There's a lot of jargon, they don't trust the jargon, so that's another avoidance. Oh, don't look at this, passive income, it's scam and so on. That's another challenges for them. So basically, let's we talk about emotional factor first. Okay, emotional factors: anxiety, fear, judgment, feeling shame, and etc. How heavy these emotional factors towards the reason behind all this avoidance?
I guess it all boils down to expectations. As they were growing, also, you call them the cotton candy generation.
Yeah. Yeah, I just read it like last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So expectation and helicopter parenting,
Mm.
providing everything,
Mm.
kind of like let them to you think that you actually should receive everything, and over rewarding.
Mm.
If you were to take, like, if I were to take what I received, if during my time in school, if you were to get scolding or warning from the teacher, the first thing your parent would ask you is, what did you do? But
Yeah.
now, the I just heard over the radio the other day, a teacher shared. So those days when the parent walk into the school, the student is afraid. Or what did I do that my mother is coming to see the teacher?
Oi.
But nowadays, when a parent walk into the school, the teacher is getting afraid and says that, what did I do that the parent is coming? You see?
Yeah.
So the
Things
the
have changed.
way that we have put expectation on the young ones, and the way that we have helicoptered them, in the sense that,
Monitor.
yeah, everything is, I guess,
Micro. CCTV.
CCTV. So the anxiety builds up when they don't
Oh.
achieve things. The pressure builds up when they don't. So for them, it's
Expectation is one of
yes.
the
So
factors
for
as well.
me to
Yeah.
get this, I have to have
I
the,
agree.
yeah, so
Expectations.
yeah, the emotional expectation, I would say that's the key to any of our habits. Emotional expectation plays a very important part in any habits that we develop, why we do this thing. So we always say, like, okay, for example, we say that we do online shopping a lot, but what triggers you to do that shopping? At what point of time? Oh, I'm stressed, I need to use the phone.
I stress. Yeah.
So the
Dessert.
the trigger point is the stress.
Yep.
Right? And so why did that stress you out?
Yeah.
So if you analyze that, it all goes back to
Correct.
the emotions that you were feeling at that point of time.
Yeah. That is the emotion part. Do you think that, okay, this is an external part? Might be it's not about the people itself. Is it economic also actually?
Obviously, that you cannot deny, right? Cost of living is rising.
I know.
And the more and more we hear about what's coming in,
Yeah.
obviously we cannot deny that. But we have to accept the fact that everything will go up.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
So
sad. It's actually a sad thing, and I was like so also worried about how people, especially the average, like
yes.
M40 and downwards, it's
Yeah.
like
It's
really
that is a
alarming.
global issue as
I know.
well. And
I know.
things around us are getting tougher.
Yeah.
I know we have to acknowledge that fact as well. But as things get tougher, our ways have to change also. So so we want to change the external factor. At times, it's not within our hands, right? But what we can do is more of what's inside of us, what's within us.
Yeah, what we can control. What we can control.
That's
Yes.
the first step that we
Yes.
can do.
Yeah. Okay. What we can control, how we can control. Okay, first thing first, like we touched earlier, we need to know ourselves. That is the first thing that how we want to overcome it. So what's next? What's after that? We already know who we are, how we seen this money thingy. What else do we can do?
Because you
Reach out.
Yeah, reach out. So yeah, because you offered me cake earlier, so I thought of something like
banana cake.
banana cake. Yeah, so something like a cake lah, acronym.
Okay.
So the first C is confront your fears.
Yeah.
You have to confront. It's
Mm.
okay. Just remember this: you're not alone in financial problems.
know.
Okay, I will say every one
people-
of us
Mm.
have gone through it once in our lifetime or
Mm.
many times in our life. So confront it. It's okay. Don't be fearful for that. Confront the fear. There's nothing that we cannot overcome. Right?
Correct.
And acknowledge the habits. The A would be acknowledge. So now you know, okay, I'm scared of doing this because I don't know whether it works or not. Then acknowledge what habits that's causing to that.
Yep.
You must acknowledge your spending habits. Only
Yep.
you know what you're doing.
Where your limits? Yeah.
Okay?
Your
And then
limits.
keep a simple budget. Okay, keep a simple budget. Sometimes we complicate things too much, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because last week, just we have this budget of 50. We did have a talk about the budgeting rules, 50, 30, 20, and then there's a lot of comment from the from the comment from the audience did say that just keep it simple.
yeah, just keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Because end of the day, only you know where your
Yeah. So
capability is.
simple. Just track every day. Just write down what you're spending, and then you know.
Mm.
Then
Correct.
you know where your money is going. So
Correct.
that's it. No need to complicate with too
Yeah.
many formulas,
Yeah.
right?
And then E, E.
Educate yourself.
Okay.
So my advice to all the generations
Mm.
who are on social media,
Mm.
okay, follow pages. Like
Mm.
you have your Money Talk, you have AKPK's
Yes.
pages,
Whichever
Spence
channel
pages.
that
Yeah.
suit you,
You just follow. Just follow.
Just
so
join.
that every day
Mm.
while you're scrolling, something will pop up.
I know.
Yeah. So you need
What they call
these nudges.
FYP,
Yeah.
POV kind of thing. I
Yeah.
lost in the acronyms already.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you need nudges. You need reminders like this. Yeah. And then L, I would say list your priorities.
Hmm.
Okay. Just go on and say what is
Dessert.
important
No,
to
I was
you.
just like today I need dessert. So that's my
priority.
Yeah.
But every day, you have this urgent, important, what's important to you, what so you need. Because if not, you want everything.
Mm.
And A, I would say is very important. Just act. Don't overthink.
Yes.
Sometimes we overthink.
If you want to do it now.
Do it now.
Don't
right?
procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the H is also very important. If something goes wrong, if you hold yourself accountable.
Hold yourself. I was like, okay.
Hold yourself accountable. It's not everybody's fault. Okay. If something goes wrong, that's like simple lah. I know I need to save today. And then that car made noise and I had to go and use my money that I wanted to save for that. So now who do I blame? The car, myself, or what? But things happen. This kind of
hold
things
yourself.
happen. It's okay. It happened today. I'll start again tomorrow.
That also
right?
shows that we are responsible to ourselves.
Yes, responsible.
The family.
Yeah.
Correct.
So the thing is, keep the key to it is being consistent. Do not give up.
Take it slow. I mean, make it. It's okay to go slow, but
yes,
go
and
consistent.
have small goals.
Yeah.
Sometimes we think too high, too big.
Correct. Yep.
And then it takes us so long to achieve it, we give up.
Yeah.
Start small, simple thing. Okay, by end of this week, I'm looking at 5 ringgit. 5 ringgit is good.
Yeah.
As long as it's a saving.
Always come back to, replan, revisit, reflect, replan.
Yeah.
So always start with
And
that.
keep small goals. Because when you can achieve small goals, reward yourself, you celebrate that victory, and that will keep you motivated to go big. But if you keep very big goals, it takes long time and there's a lot of hurdles in between, the tendency to give up is faster. So the key is consistency. We have to consistently maintain that, which is the toughest, because we are humans, we have our ups and downs in life.
Yep.
So we have to always go back to why I'm doing this and continue doing it without giving up. That's where doing it small helps. Like, if I'm going to run a marathon, I can't straight away go for 42. Okay, I got to start with 3 first. Then I consistently do it, I may hit 5. I consistently do it, I may hit 10. So it's consistency. I cannot straight away go for the big one.
Betul.
And that is the key success to everybody.
Yeah. So all in all, what I can take from Miss Nirmala, really comprehensive cake lah, is avoiding your finance doesn't make you weak. Actually, it shows that we are humans.
Yeah,
We are all
we're human.
humans. Yeah, we sometimes make mistake, but what we need to be revisit, reflect, revisit, and
It's how
replan.
fast you rebound back.
Correct. Correct. So your money story is still being written today. Small step, like what Miss Mala said, can rewrite tomorrow's outcome.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
I like
beautiful
this one.
thing.
Thank you to
Yeah.
my script writer. I just take one each. Okay. So I think this is towards the end of our podcast for today, episode 2. I think this today episode I think we have a lot of things to share, to be honest, because the story of financial avoidance, it's too big to be discussed within 29 minutes. All right, Miss Nimala, thank you so much for coming. Before that, do you have any last words to all, especially Malaysian, our people, community, but all the international? Okay, let's say all international. What do you think the only one thing? Give me one thing that you think is the most significant things to take when you are really in this deep problem on financial. I would say that.
Yeah. I would put it as this 4A. I would say is acknowledge,
Acknowledge,
analyze, act on it, and ask for help. if you
ask
need
for help. That's 4
So
A's.
for Malaysians, you can come to AKPK.
Yes, please.
But in all other places, you have financial planners, you have financial
Definitely, I think,
consultants. So
yeah.
sometimes we are so afraid to ask
Mm.
for help, and we think we can manage. So it's not wrong to
Again,
ask for help,
yes,
but
yes,
the right help,
yes,
the
yes.
right help,
Correct channel. Yeah,
correct channel.
in this time, there's a lot of scammers coming in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do that. Just remember that
4
4A.
A's
Yes.
from Miss Nirmala. 4 A's. So we will talk more about this 4 A's maybe in the future. So that, thank you so much for all the audience in Malaysia, in Serumpun, Indonesia, Brunei, and all my beloved network from all the space, in wherever space you are. Thank you again for tuning our episode, the second episode for our first premiere season on a smart spending habit. We hope you all have empowered with, especially stick to the 4A. I think we will revisit the 4A in the future. So send this to your friends, and trust me, if you really want to change your life, change it from today with me and my network, not just with me, but all this issue with finance. So please visit, like our YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Facebook, IG, and also Spotify, and share it with your friends. So thank you so much for my production team, led by the producer Yusri Zahid, assistant producer Norfatin Atika, my casting crew, Shira, and also my makeup artist, Angelica Ravid. And again, to the most, I know Miss Nimala because of my love to financial literacy. I think way back in 2018 when I'm still with my former university. So I think it's really that is something that we love both. So
Yes.
again, thank you so much. And anything to say to my network outside there?
Thank you so much, Dr. Lalua.
Thank you so
Keep
much.
going, keep on going,
Oh.
because we need more players. We need, and it's really great that you have got a bunch of youngsters with you, because they are our future. And
they are fall in love now,
Yeah.
more or less, in this financial
so
literacy.
it's really great that continue empowering them.
Thank you so
because they are the ones that
They are our future.
Yeah,
They are our future. So Miss Nimala, can I ask you to
oh sure.
Sure, come with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay calm,
Don't
rush,
make a plan, feel
feel the hush. So again, we see you next week in episode 3. Thank you so Miss Nimala Supramandiam from AKPK, and thank you so much. I love you. See you again. Assalamualaikum.